Hello, this is Sue, and you're with me at GetSoul'd. Uh, so today, there's so many different topics I want to eventually get to now that I'm on this side of things. Not to say I'm not still going to be learning, of course. It's always the way. I still have a lot of unanswered questions from the human side, but I feel like now I've been given the green light to just talk about the things that I've written down, I've channeled, I've whatever. So today, I guess what I wanted to do was something a little different. So I have my little pad here. And for those of you who have been on the channel before, you know I do something called channel drawing. And so what channel drawing is, it originally started to help me heal karmic issues. So I'm trying to decide whether to talk a little bit about karmic issues or just try to keep this a tight video on just the drawing or what have you. There's a lot of podcasters out there talking about everything that's going on in the world right now. And, the people that follow me, I don't know whether you follow any of them, whether I think there's a cross here, across some people being nice to me and following me. Some people are interested in, outside stuff like the Soul 2K stuff. Man, that was something when we talked about the demon thing. Man, I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Just little 7-year-olds talking about demons. Nothing. And now I'm seeing other podcasters talking, integrating the negative entity. It's preferred to say it that way than demon because we all have been brought up to think demons are these little mythical characters and they're almost laughable. They're really not in what they do because they really want to disrespect creator source. They made that choice. But we all have some of that in us. If you picture that our dark side, our shadow side enables us to sometimes, protect somebody with that might or with that anger, with that something, a little bit of shadow, never hurt anybody, but you have to learn about it. You have to understand, because what I've learned from my own shadow work is that we don't want to see the stuff that we are capable of, whether it's past lifetimes or current. You have to be pretty strong to see both sides of yourself. But once you do, that's like magic. That's like your ticket to the next, ride or something, because a better ride. Because once you go through the self-evaluation, self-awareness, and ask yourself, why do you do this? Why do you judge that person? Why do you this, that, and the other thing? And you actually start to hear, remember, if you go to your high heart, is Soul 2K actually taught me, I couldn't focus long enough to do it. I was my own worst enemy. Ingrid would say, you need to go inward. You need to, and I just kept saying, I can't get there. And then Jeffy showed me a little trick. So 2K showed me a little trick to go into the heart space and then go into my own private little universe and ask questions and so forth and so on, versus going through the third eye, which is like, there's no filters there. And it's a scary place. And you're going to see icky demons and creepy things and all that stuff. And you better know how to protect yourself. But either way, so the karmic thing, drawing thing, was to help me see the lifetimes I needed to work on. And I'll tell you, man, they came hot and heavy. So I was given a prayer to invoke the energy. So what I'll do is I'll say that now. And I don't know if I'm going to draw something that's going to be like from a world perspective, or maybe something that we're sort of all dealing with in the human collective as far as an emotion, an idea. I want it to be organic. I want it to be whatever. And I haven't done this before. I think I did it maybe once before, but I was still a little nervous. And I don't think anybody really caught on to that one way back when I was talking about what I had to fix at my dad's house with the stuff underneath. Ooh, that was brutal. But I was remembering when I used to be like and this is gonna sound silly, but demon slayer, past other incarnations of, kicking the bad guys out to help the good guys, you know, that sort of thing. All right, so what I want to do is try to see if I can get an image or something that we can then talk about. So I'm going to go into my little prayer and my feet on the floor get grounded. I like to sit squishy in the chair. All right, so once I draw something, we'll see whether it's like a close-knit us kind of thing, or world kind of thing, or a theme kind of thing. So let's see. Let's start first, and I don't know if I can show you or not as I go, but let's see. Here, and then link them. Got here. Oh, right. What's coming to me right now is a massive tree. I think one of the things I'm fascinated with too, maybe this is part of the where it's coming up, is the trees that we used to have that were massive. And I don't know how far into this, I don't even want to say the word conspiracy, but how far you are into things about fake history and, you know, truth and all that stuff. But I think there's a lot they haven't told us. And these massive, massive trees, givers of life, I believe, have been destroyed. I don't really know why, unless, I mean, I kind of know why, but all right, so now I'm gonna show you real quick. This is just the beginning of it. All right, so we got a big old tree there, right? What's we got here? Come on. Wish I had a pencil, but I don't. Guy here. All right. So what are we doing? All right, so we got our, oops, little happy guy, right? Probably speed this part up on the real video, just so you're not bored. All right, now. All right, let's see, we got this. Not sure why. simple little bird showed up. I'm gonna stop recording on this one for now. And then what I want to do is just kind of hold my hands over the picture and kind of get an idea. What are we looking at? What are we bringing forth today? Deception of our conception. Deception of our conception. Wow. Okay. Let me write that before I forget. Deception of our conception. Why is this important? Ah, power. Okay, so what I'm feeling, and I usually get tingles when I'm on the mark here. Deception of our conception. Because there's a lot of gaps missing in how we were created, why we were created, and there's a lot of podcasters out there talking about it, but this is me right now doing my own channeling thing because I have to practice, because I have to do this. And the deception of conception has kept us disempowered, has kept us small, has kept us enslaved, imprisoned, not just in real life, but in our own minds. And I feel like it's a theme even in my own life, finding out, all these things that were going on in my brain that prohibited me from, being my best self, being my most productive, my most artsy self and all that stuff. It was always, and I think that when you don't understand the value of these enormous trees that have been raped, pillaged, I say raped because, I don't know, like just brutalized out of our lives. When I was in despair months ago and I had Christar and Cynthia pulling me out of the ditch again, I had to remember where I came from. I had to remember, and they reminded me that my roots are with the great trees coming from the stars originally. So I'm not we're all creators, but as far as the big stuff goes, I can't give you a blow by blow on that. But I can tell you this: the tree of justice that Soul 2K labeled is very important to me to remember. And I think for all of you to remember, the deception of our conception has been a disempowering tool. So whatever you believe, it's not important. It's that you reconnect with the trees. I mean, we're all saying nature, of course, but there's something about the trees that's directly connected to you and the roots. And if you can set a few moments aside and you can just envision, just close your eyes and just kind of call forth your mother tree. You want to just pulling that out there, like mother tree, and just tap into that energy just for a few minutes, whatever you can give to it. See if you can connect with that creation, that source, because we are absolutely a part of Mother Earth. We have to be in order to survive here. So while we have a soul and we have a spiritual essence and all that, our bodies are maintained by Mother Earth. So the tree serves a very specific purpose. And if you can do that today, if you can connect with your tree, it's going to lift your energy. You tap into that energy. You raise your vibe by connecting to that tree. Now, something that I always did, I don't have a tree this size anywhere near me. I wish I did. I would love to just nestle in the roots. But I have a beautiful little hydrangea tree. out that window, and I often would go out and just put my back up against it, like mostly when I'm, in trouble or sad or something. Maybe that is literally how I did make it through these 8 conditions or whatever, by trusting in nature, not always trusting in human. I'm sorry, because I had to remember the good stuff again. But so we'll say that that was the purpose of this video. So you can try something different if you haven't done anything like this yet, to connect to your specific tree, your specific giver of life, and see what you can envision. See what comes up for you. It could be a scene. It could be a moment in time. It could be something from the past, when you were in those times when those trees existed. It could be from the moment of conception, when you remember the greatness, the life, the breathing of these roots that are inside of you. There's different drawings out there that show the human body. And when you look in the human body, you see this network of veins and so forth. And when the skin is, I don't want to say stripped away, but when you look at all that, you see the same thing that are in the trees. You see the roots, you see all of that. And we are part of that. So I guess today's exercise is going to be connect with your tree, connect with your inner tree, connect with the energy, and see what comes up for you. Is it information? Is it lesson? Is it history? Is it a message that you need? Is it just love, just reconnecting with your tree? When you do that, when you come up with your own special connection, when the world starts falling apart, and it has been, I have no fear because I know the end result. But a lot of people, it's hard not to buy into the fear. But when you've done shadow work, after a while you just get pissed off and you're like, let me create my reality. Let me go find my tree. Let me go find my space, my whatever. And from what I understand, we've already been through all of this. Now, because of the time structure, we have to walk through it. So you're safe, you're protected. Everyone has a soul contract that is going to determine what their outcome is, what role they're playing. So, I mean, it's hardest when we lose people around us. It's funny because with all my brain stuff, I would always just get a big sigh of relief, like, completed your journey here. And now you're back in a soft, loving environment. But I understand, the ones that are left behind, it's impossible. It's horrific to go through that anguish. So if you can take this time and connect with your tree, your beautiful tree that's a part of you, let me know in the comments if you get a vision, if you see anything, if you feel a certain vibration. But that's going to be today's message. That's going to be purely channeled. Find your tree, find that energy, so that when you need a break, when you're up against stress, when you're up against a situation that's challenging you, find a place to go. With me, it's always my bed. I always just curl up in a blanket and yeah. And find that tree. Find your tree. Find your tree and tap into that energy. And let me know what comes up for you if you want to share. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Until the next video. And nice of you to get sold on yourself with me.